Hi, I'm Michael from Dyslexia Improvements, and today we're going to chat about a topic that I've really been looking forward to chatting about, and it's why is my child messing around in class? And lots of parents say to me, my child is messing around, it doesn't make any sense, why would they do that? And often you'll hear teachers taking kids aside saying, doesn't it make you feel sad when you do the wrong thing? Doesn't it make you feel sad when you're not participating fully? And the child's sitting there going, yeah, I'll just agree to everything you say, but deep down they're thinking, no, it doesn't make me feel sad. I feel great about it. And they do feel great about it because the bottom line is when your child is acting like a complete clown, they're getting something out of it. There's a reason they're acting like a clown. It could be that they're getting their need for attention met. Lots of kids, they want to be noticed, they don't feel noticed at home, or they don't feel noticed at school, or they don't feel like they've got any friends, they have to impress people, so they're wanting all the attention in the world that they can get. And when the teacher says to them, but why would you do that? You get nothing out of it. Now, I think one of the biggest reasons we see kids acting up in class at the moment is that when they can't do the work, they want to escape that feeling of, I'm a failure, I can't do it. Now, something I've seen happen so well so many times is when teachers or parents have really locked onto the reason my child is messing around is because they're stuck in their work, they're stuck in a cycle because for the last couple of years they've messed around a bit, which has then meant they weren't good at their work, which has meant, oh, I can't do the work, so I have to mess around a bit. You can see how that negative cycle plays out. So the key there in that spot is to get your child the help they need. If it means you and your child sitting down for 15 minutes a night doing some extra work, having your child whinge at you about how unfair you are, whatever, but let's get the skills that your child needs locked into your child's brain and put in place new things. If what has been put in place hasn't been working, then change it. If you've been trying to reward your child for doing the right thing and it hasn't worked, we'll try some consequences. If you've been using consequences and that hasn't worked, we'll try some rewards or try a combination. But whatever you do, don't let your child get away with messing around. If your child is messing around, they don't want you talking to school about it. They don't want school to know what's happening at home. They don't want home to know what's happening at school. So be deliberate about keeping regular contact with your child's teacher. Make sure it's face-to-face contact. Teachers do not want to write things down that can be held against them, but in person, in a conversation, they're going to tell you what's really happening. So take the time, take the effort, do what you have to do to make sure that connection between home and school is working. Now, something I've seen a lot lately, and it's been a bit disheartening, to be honest, is that I've seen a lot of times kids acting like complete clowns at school. They're wanting the attention of their peers, and people are treating it like it's an attention-seeking issue. It's not an attention-seeking issue. It's a success-seeking issue. The child wants to feel successful. The child can feel successful when their friends are laughing at them for being uncompliant at school. But the child can't feel successful about the work that's in front of them. Maybe the work needs to be changed. Maybe some things need to be put in place to support that child. Basically, you're talking about a lot of hard work, and that's how it's going to be, because the predictable outcome of not putting new things in place is that your child will be in that downward spiral where for the rest of their school time, they're just playing the fool to get that attention, to avoid the fact that they can't do the work properly. So that's the theory behind it. What's the practical steps? The practical step is make sure you're in contact with the school. Make sure that you're actually asking your child, what do you get out of this? If you're doing a particular behavior that's destructive, you're getting something out of it, otherwise you wouldn't do it. What are you getting out of this? And to make sure your child is actually thinking through, why am I being like this? Whether they're real with you or not, at least you're letting them know that you know they're getting something out of it and that they haven't pulled the wool over your eyes. Now, I don't want to look like it's 1950, but I'm yet to see rewards and consequences hurt a child. Every time I've seen rewards and consequences in place, it's either helped a child completely, or at least it's been a step towards the solutions for that child. So don't be afraid to take the TV off the child, to take video games and electronics. Works like a charm for older kids to take the mobile phone off them. Don't be afraid to put consequences in place, and at the same time, don't be too stingy to put good rewards in place. And a good reward for a child is immediate or as close to it. So don't sort of reward them. At the end of the year, we'll go on a holiday if you do the right thing. They don't care about the end of the year, they care about now. So you want the reward to be happening in an hour's time or 3 hours time, or worst case scenario, sometime before they go to bed, or they're not really going to care. Good rewards can be things like extra pocket money, it can be extra free time, extra time spending their life in front of a screen. whatever. It's worth being generous as parents with rewards, because you don't want to end up with this unbalanced situation where you're spending your whole life disciplining your child and none of your life rewarding the child and interacting positively, because that leads to a negative relationship in the long term. There's got to be a balance. Yes, your child needs discipline, but they also need those rewards. So, something tells me this wasn't what you're expecting me to say, but this is how I see it. I've been in schools for 12 years. I work with hundreds of kids each week, and I can tell you straight out, if your child is messing around, there's a reason for it. You can uncover it. There are things you can do. There are things you can put in place. And if you do the hard yards, if you do what's not fun in the short term, you'll get a good result. And one day, your child will probably thank you for it. I've been Michael Clark from dyslexiaimprovements.com. If you've got more questions, just leave them at the bottom of this video. I'll do my best to answer them.